the twin flame journey, a celestial dance where souls collide in a whirlwind of passion, pain, and profound awakening. The two flames flickering in the vast cosmos, drawn to each other with an intensity that defies logic. Yet, amidst this magnetic pull, one flame often finds itself retreating into the shadows, the runner. You may wonder, why does this runner believe they hold dominion over the chaser? Why do they feel they can dictate the rhythm of this sacred connection? The truth is both simple and complex, a paradox wrapped in layers of fear and longing. Runners most often don't know why they are running. It's as if they've stumbled upon a dazzling light, too bright, too overwhelming. When faced with such brilliance, what do we instinctively do? We close our eyes. In their flight, runners are not wielding control. They are grappling with confusion and fear. They are caught in a tempest of emotions that swirl around them like autumn leaves caught in a gust of wind. So let's delve into the heart of this phenomenon and explore the reasons behind the runner's perceived control over the chaser. Imagine standing before a grand castle, its towering walls a testament to strength and resilience. Yet, within those walls lies a heart, fragile, tender, and yearning for connection. This imagery encapsulates the essence of the twin flame runner's experience, where fear acts as both shield and prison. At the core of the runner's retreat is an overwhelming fear of intimacy. This fear often stems from past experiences where vulnerability led to pain or rejection. Perhaps they've encountered relationships that left scars, or they've been conditioned by societal norms that equate emotional openness with weakness. In a world that prizes stoicism and self-sufficiency, the prospect of exposing one's true self can feel like standing naked in a crowd, terrifying and vulnerable. As they face the intensity of the twin flame connection, runners may find themselves grappling with an internal conflict. The pull towards their twin flame is magnetic, yet it evokes a primal response to retreat into safety. They are caught in a paradox, longing for connection while simultaneously fearing the very depth of that connection. To cope with this fear, runners construct an illusion of control. By distancing themselves from their chaser, they believe they are dictating the terms of their interactions. It's a way to manage their emotional landscape, an attempt to regain some semblance of power over their feelings. When the chaser reaches out, expressing love or desire, the runner may interpret this as an intrusion into their carefully guarded sanctuary. They might think, if I can control when I engage or withdraw, I can protect myself from being hurt. This belief creates a false sense of security. It allows them to feel as though they are steering the ship when, in reality, they are adrift on turbulent waters. However, this fortress built on fear comes at a cost. While it may provide temporary relief from vulnerability, it also stifles genuine connection and growth. The walls that were meant to protect become barriers to love. They prevent authentic communication and understanding from flourishing. For runners to transcend this cycle of fear and control, they must embark on a journey inward, a journey toward self-discovery and acceptance. It begins with acknowledging their vulnerabilities and confronting the fears that have shaped their emotional landscape. In this journey toward healing, runners can learn that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a profound strength, a bridge that connects hearts rather than a barrier that divides them. By allowing themselves to be seen and understood, they open the door to deeper intimacy with their chaser and ultimately with themselves. At the heart of the runner's journey lies a profound desire for autonomy. They may believe that by distancing themselves from their twin flame, they are maintaining their independence, escaping the overwhelming emotional intensity that comes with such a deep connection. In their minds, this withdrawal is a declaration of self-sufficiency, a way to assert control over their feelings and circumstances. This yearning for independence can be rooted in various experiences. Perhaps they have faced relationships where they felt suffocated or lost their sense of self. As a result, the idea of merging with another soul can feel daunting, akin to losing one's identity in the vastness of another's being. The runner may think, if I can keep my distance, I can preserve who I am. However, this perceived independence is often an illusion, a mirage shimmering on the horizon. While it may provide a temporary sense of safety, it ultimately creates emotional barriers that hinder genuine connection. By withdrawing from their chaser, runners convince themselves they are in control of their emotional landscape, but this control is precarious at best. In moments of retreat, runners may feel a fleeting sense of empowerment. They might think, I can decide when to engage and when to pull away. This belief offers comfort. It allows them to feel as though they are steering their own ship through turbulent waters. Yet, this ship is often adrift, lost in a sea of confusion and longing. The push-pull dynamic that emerges from this illusion can be exhausting for both parties involved. Runners oscillate between moments of closeness and withdrawal, allowing brief glimpses into their hearts before retreating once more into solitude. This behavior can leave their chaser feeling bewildered and unworthy, caught in a cycle of hope and disappointment. When the chaser reaches out with love or vulnerability, the runner may recoil, interpreting these gestures as threats to their independence. They might think, if I allow myself to be vulnerable, I'll lose my autonomy. This fear perpetuates the cycle of distance and creates an emotional roller coaster that neither party truly desires. As they cling to this mirage, they risk missing out on the profound beauty of partnership, the joy of mutual support and shared dreams. Independence is not inherently negative. It becomes problematic when it transforms into isolation, a lonely existence devoid of deep emotional connections. For twin flame runners to transcend this illusion, they must embark on a journey toward true independence, one that embraces both individuality and connection. This journey begins with self-reflection and self-awareness. It requires them to confront the fears that have shaped their understanding of autonomy. True independence is not about building walls, but about cultivating a strong sense of self while remaining open to love. It involves recognizing that vulnerability does not equate to weakness. Rather, it is an essential component of authentic relationships. By embracing interdependence and allowing love to flow freely between them, runners can transform their relationship into one marked by authenticity and mutual support. A harmonious dance where both flames burn brightly together. In this sacred union, they will discover that true freedom lies not in distance, but in the beautiful intertwining of two souls on a shared journey toward love and enlightenment. At the heart of this power dynamic lies an unconscious desire for validation. Runners may find themselves in a position where they can elicit strong emotions from their chaser, creating a sense of confidence and superiority. When the chaser expresses love, longing, or desire, it can inadvertently affirm the runner's sense of worth. In these moments, the runner feels powerful, like a puppeteer pulling strings, orchestrating emotional responses that feed their ego. This allure can be intoxicating. The runner may perceive their ability to evoke such strong feelings as a testament to their desirability and significance. They might think, if I can make them feel this way, it means I matter. This belief reinforces their ego and creates a false sense of control over the relationship. However, this perceived strength is often built on shaky ground. As they engage in this game of power, they risk losing sight of the deeper purpose of their twin flame journey, a journey meant for growth, healing, and unconditional love. The cost of this ego-driven control is significant. While runners may initially feel empowered by their ability to elicit strong emotions from their chaser, this dynamic ultimately stifles authentic connection. It transforms love into a game, one where winners and losers emerge, rather than two souls united in harmony. For twin flame runners to break free from this game of power, they must embark on a journey toward authenticity, a journey that requires them to confront their ego and embrace vulnerability. As runners begin to shift their focus from power dynamics to mutual empowerment, they will discover that true love is not about winning or losing. It is about supporting one another on individual journeys while growing together as partners. In this newfound space of mutual empowerment, both partners can thrive, celebrating each other's strengths while navigating challenges together. They will learn that true intimacy is built on trust and respect rather than manipulation and control. The game of power may feel enticing for twin flame runners, but it ultimately limits growth and connection. As they begin to recognize this dynamic for what it is, a fleeting illusion, they will find themselves drawn toward deeper intimacy with their chaser. By embracing authenticity and allowing love to flow freely between them without manipulation or control, runners can transform their relationship into one marked by genuine connection, a harmonious dance where both flames burn brightly together. At the heart of this avoidance lies a profound fear of responsibility. When two souls connect at the level of twin flames, they inevitably face expectations to nurture the relationship, to communicate openly, and to support one another's growth. For many runners, these expectations can feel overwhelming. They may think, what if I can't meet their needs? What if I fail? This fear is often compounded by societal pressures that dictate how relationships should function. Runners may feel as though they are being thrust into roles they are unprepared for or that they cannot fulfill. The thought of being responsible for another's happiness can evoke anxiety, that drives them deeper into their shell. In their quest to escape these responsibilities, runners create an illusion of control by withdrawing from their chaser. By choosing to run away, they believe they can dictate the course of the relationship, deciding when to engage and when to retreat. This perceived control offers a temporary sense of relief. It allows them to avoid confronting their fears head-on. However, this withdrawal is not an act of empowerment. It is an act of avoidance. Runners may convince themselves that by running away, they are protecting both themselves and their chaser from potential heartache. Yet in doing so, they deny themselves and their partner the opportunity for growth that comes from facing challenges together. For twin flame runners to transcend this cycle of avoidance, they must embark on a journey that requires them to confront their fears and embrace responsibility within the relationship. True accountability involves acknowledging one's role in the relationship and being willing to communicate openly about fears, desires, and expectations. As runners begin to shift their focus from avoidance to accountability, they will discover that true strength lies in embracing connection rather than isolating themselves. By allowing themselves to be vulnerable and open with their chaser, they create space for genuine intimacy to flourish. This shift requires a willingness to engage in difficult conversations, to express fears honestly without resorting to withdrawal or silence. In this newfound space of connection, both partners can thrive, supporting one another through challenges while celebrating each other's growth. The escape route may feel tempting for twin flame runners, but it ultimately limits growth and connection. As they begin to recognize this path for what it is, a fleeting illusion, they will find themselves drawn toward deeper intimacy with their chaser. At the core of insecurity, projection, lies a profound fear of inadequacy. Runners may struggle with feelings of unworthiness, stemming from past experiences or societal conditioning that have instilled doubts about their value. They might think, "Am I enough? Will I ever be worthy of love?" These insecurities can manifest in various ways: self-doubt, anxiety, or even a fear of abandonment. When faced with the intense emotions that arise in a twin flame connection, these insecurities can become magnified. The runner may feel overwhelmed by the depth of their chaser's feelings and question whether they can live up to those expectations. This creates an internal conflict. The desire for connection clashes with the fear of being exposed as inadequate. To cope with these overwhelming feelings, runners often resort to projection, a defense mechanism where they attribute their own insecurities onto others. They may interpret their chaser's expressions of love or desire as excessive or unrealistic, believing that they are undeserving of such affection. In this way, the runner's insecurities distort their perception of reality. For example, if the chaser expresses vulnerability or longing, the runner might react defensively, thinking, "They want too much from me. I can't give them what they need." This reaction stems from an internal belief that they are not enough and that their chaser's love is conditional or dependent on meeting certain expectations. For twin flame runners to break free from this cycle of insecurity projection, they must embark on a journey toward self-acceptance that requires them to confront their fears and embrace their true selves. True self-acceptance involves acknowledging one's flaws and imperfections without judgment. It requires compassion, both for oneself and for one's partner. By understanding that everyone has insecurities and vulnerabilities, runners can begin to dismantle the walls built by fear and open themselves up to genuine connection. As runners begin to shift their focus from projection to authenticity, they will discover that true love flourishes in an environment of acceptance and understanding. By allowing themselves to be vulnerable and sharing their insecurities with their chaser, they create space for deeper intimacy to blossom. Ultimately, twin flame runners may resort to silence or avoidance tactics, blocking communication or retreating into solitude to shield themselves from vulnerability and confrontational truths about their conditioned problems. This behavior offers them an illusion of control, a false sense that everything rests within their grasp. But here lies the heart of it all. No one truly controls the twin flame connection. You both embark on an extraordinary journey of growth and learning, guided by forces far greater than yourselves, a divine orchestration unfolding in perfect harmony. As you navigate this intricate dance together, remember that true unity emerges not from control, but from mutual understanding and acceptance. Embrace your unique path with open hearts, for when you both awaken to your shared purpose, you will find yourselves moving toward a healthy union, a beautiful convergence where love reigns supreme.